يا علي يا عزيز يا من يسمى بالغفور الرحيم عشق حسین همه
successful, if you want to come really close to me, you have to do a lot of dhikr, which means what? Speak to Allah throughout the day. It doesn't mean that you have to be on wudu. When you wake up in the morning, talk to Him, just like you have a friend. Imagine you have a roommate. Don't you talk to them? If we want to develop our souls, is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does He say in the Quran? There are many pieces of advice that Allah gives us in the Quran and we don't even realize it. Allah, what does He say? يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ ذِكْرًا كَثِيرًا. O you who believe, remember Allah كَثِيرًا. Allah doesn't say remember me 5 times a day only when you pray. Some of us, we think Allah, He only gets 17 minutes out of my day. Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib and Isha, and that's it. Allah says, if you want to be successful, if you want to come really close to me, you have to do a lot of dhikr, which means what? Speak to Allah throughout the day. It doesn't mean that you have to be on wudu. When you wake up in the morning, talk to Him, just like you have a friend. Imagine you have a roommate. Don't you talk to them? Isn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala your closest companion? Your roommate, he goes to work, he goes to class, and he's not with you anymore. Allah is always with you. He's always there. He's next to you. And you don't ever speak to Him. And don't think that, oh, I need to read a formal dua when I speak to Allah. Speak to Him informally. Just talk. You can even complain to Him. Allah, He likes it when people complain to Him. Inna Allah yuhibbu sa'il al-lahuh. Ask Him. Talk to Him. It's not about what you say. It's about getting into the habit of speaking to Him. If you had a bad day at work, before you complain to your spouse, complain to Allah. If you're having problems that you think are not even big problems, it doesn't matter. Even if your foot hurts you, complain to Allah. Ask Him. You know, Imam Zainul Abidin, when his sandal would snap, his sandal, he would need to fix it, he would ask Allah to help him. Why? Number one, because he recognizes the reality of La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Even something that I think is very simple, I need Allah's help. There's no power without Him. Secondly, Imam Zainul Abidin, why does he do this? Because he's always speaking to Allah. It comes naturally to him. Before you sleep at night, when you get in your car and you're going to work, talk to Allah, speak to Him. About anything. You don't have to be formal with Him. He knows you better than you know yourself. So getting into the habit of speaking to Allah, this is number one. This is very important for your spirituality. Number two, we have to make an effort to attend religious gatherings as much as we can. Because, especially in the West, because we live in a very, very materialistic, consumer, ultra-consumer culture, where we're bombarded by messages that are destructive to our morality and our spirituality. What do we need to do? You need to go to the spiritual clinic to get a checkup, to get that boost. And this is the masjid. Coming to Salat al-Jumu'ah, Dua Kumail. Don't come to the masjid only every once in a while. This is like someone who goes to the dentist every few years. Are you going to have good oral hygiene? You need to be consistent. You need to put yourselves in the magnetic fields of Allah, which is the masjid, the Husayniyat, intellectual gatherings. Number three, you have to pay very close attention to who you associate with. Life is too short for you to waste your time with people who are not going to bring you closer to Allah. It's the reality. Now, if they are not as spiritual as you, if you can help them, do that. But if you're dealing with people who are not interested in helping themselves, and they're doing nothing but pulling you away from Allah, that's it. You need to walk away. Be careful. You know, the Sharia tells us we have to be very careful when we interact with non-mahram. The urafa, they say there is a different type of non-mahram. You know, when you're dealing with the opposite gender, you have to be cautious. You can't just take it easy and be too flirtatious. You have to be very formal, very modest. The urafa, the Islamic mystics, what do they say? They say in Irfan, someone who is dunyawi, you should treat him as non-mahram. Just like you're very cautious, you're very formal, you don't get too close to non-mahram. In spirituality, non-mahram is someone who's very materialistic, whose only concern, whose only direction in life is dunya, who's not going to bring you closer to Allah. Just like you're very careful with the opposite gender, be very cautious with people who are going to diminish your spirituality. Don't spend too much time with them. It will kill your heart. Fourthly, commit to yourself to praying on time. Don't think that, I'm okay. As long as I do it 6 minutes before it becomes qada, I'm okay. No, you're not okay. On the Day of Judgment, Allah may not punish you, but you're doing a disservice to yourself. There's a big difference between praying on time and praying late. I'll give you a very simple example. Have you had food presented to you? Someone just made some food, and they put it on the table. If you eat it right after it's been cooked, it's good, it's fresh. But what happens if you keep it out for 5, 6, 7 hours? What's going to happen? Is it the same as the one who ate it right when it was made? Go right now, get some fruits and vegetables, eat it right away after it's been cut and prepared. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be much more beneficial to you. But the food that has been sitting out for a long time and then you go to it, it becomes a little spoiled. It doesn't have the same pleasure. This is why you see people like Ayatollah Bahjat, they're waiting very anxiously for the minute Salah begins. Rasulullah, when the time of prayer used to begin, even though he's sitting with the Sahaba, some of his wives, they would say, when the time of Salah would begin, he would stand up as if he didn't know them and they don't know him. That's it. Discussion ends. Now Allah is calling us. We have a meeting with Allah. We have to take our prayers very seriously. Salat al-Fajr, and I admonish myself before any of you. Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. There's no reason why we should delay. Sometimes we make excuses that, I'm working, I'm doing this. Imam al-Hussein on the day of Ashura, he prayed on time. Do you have a better... If anyone had an excuse for delaying his salah, it would have been Imam al-Hussein on the day of Ashura. His family is being massacred in front of him. No food, no water for 3 days. Your excuse before Allah is what? Oh, I was working. You were working? Or I was watching the news, I was watching a movie, I was talking to my friends. We have to take these issues seriously, brothers and sisters. This is number 4. Number 5, and finally, and we'll conclude here. If you want to develop your spirituality, you have to be in contact with the most spiritual people. And that is Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad, salawatullahi alayhi. And I'm not saying that you need to read Ziyaratul Jami'ah every day. Very simple. After you finish your salah, send a salam to the Imam of your time. Assalamu alayka ya sahib al-zaman. Send one salam to the Ahlul Bayt. Why? Because when you say salam to someone, it becomes wajib upon them to do what? Raddu salam, wajib, to respond to it. When Imam says, wa alaykum salam, may peace be upon you. This is like a dua the Imam is making for you. You want your friends and your mother, your father to make dua for you because you know the barakah of their dua. Imagine the barakah of Imam saying, wa alaykum salam to you. How your life is going to change.